Fala galera do G-Fight, Diego Ribas diretamente de Las Vegas, numa conexão com Edmonton, Canadá, with Rose NAMAJUNAS. How are you, Rose? Thank you for your time.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Rose, first of all, two victories in a row. Moving up weight division looks like was a really good decision for you, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Definitely. I'm just bigger now, so it's fun. It's a new challenge. There's different contenders and things and different challenges in front of me. So, and then I have a chance to be two division champion. So nothing could be better than that.
I believe you are in your way to be a Hall of Famer, but I mean, if you can add another belt, why not, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. Give me all the belts.
So, how long did you need? How long did you take to make the decision? For how long were you thinking, oh, maybe I should move up? How long did you need?
um, like I guess I always anticipated at some point in my career that towards the end I would move up at some point, just because I actually started my MMA career at 125. It was mainly because not because of my size, but because there just wasn't girls to fight. But I always thought that that could be a potential in my future when I first got into the UFC. And then as I think I started to really like anticipate that a little bit, like maybe towards my title defense on my second title run. And then going into the Carla fight, that's when I really thought that I would probably I knew that that was one of my last fights at 115. I didn't know that that would be my last for sure. I think just the way that everything turned out, it just kind of made it make more sense to just make that move right away. I thought I would I thought I would go and beat her and then maybe have one more title defense and then move up, but just the way that it all played out and like the contenders and like the whole division and stuff, it just kind of made more sense for me to just make that move. Why wait?
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
well, uh, that's going to be your third fight this year, right? In 2024.
Yeah.
And is that the first time you'll fight three times in a year in the UFC?
Um, I think in like a calendar year, I believe so. I mean, technically when I was on the Ultimate Fighter, I think there was like three fights like back to back. But yeah, I think as far I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the case, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, the Ultimate Fighter was in 2014, 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We are getting old, Rose.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I was there in your fight. Was at Palms Casino. I was there. I remember.
Ooh-wee, that was a long time ago.
It was. You know what I remember?
Yeah.
The media day. Pat,
Yeah.
he was doing your lipstick in front of
Oh,
everybody. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah. That's
It
funny.
was a cute moment. So in
Yeah.
your last fight, you were supposed to fight Macy Barber, and
Yeah.
then you ended up fighting Tracy Cortez. A short notice in terms of your preparation, and did you have to change your game plan? How challenging was that for you?
It was like slightly challenging, only mainly like psychologically because I was like so amped up to fight Macy at first, and then like it just kind of gave me slightly an adrenaline dump in practice. But once I got over that, then I was like, I kind of just had to redirect my focus at like short time in the training camp. So it was more psychological than anything because I think like their game plans I think were going to be pretty similar. I think Macy just has a more clinch heavy style, I guess style in general, whereas Tracy's a little bit more, boxing and wrestling and things like that. But they're very similar, so I didn't really have to change my game plan too much. Um but it was a challenge nonetheless for sure.
Fala galera, seguinte, eu sei que esse vídeo tá muito bom, mas presta atenção no recado que eu tenho para vocês. A Stake é patrocinadora oficial do UFC e também é apoiadora aqui do canal da G-Fight. Tem um link nosso aqui na descrição que vocês podem e devem conferir, se você for maior de 18 anos e apostar com responsabilidade. Nessa semana, se você apostar no modo vencedor e o lutador escolhido perder na decisão dividida, você recebe o seu dinheiro de volta. Então fique ligado, se inscreva pelo nosso link aqui na descrição e vamos que vamos. And talking about Erin Blanchfield right now, when you see her style, Is the game plan, is the matchup good for you? Did you like her name as opponent?
I do, yeah. I think it's kind of similar to Tracy. I think she's just a step up because she's ranked higher, and she just kind of has fought more higher level opponents, and she's more experienced and things. So she has more things going for her than Tracy does. But so it's gonna be a bigger challenge. It's the next step ahead of me, and but ultimately it's pretty much the same kind of, I guess, similar game plan.
She's a little bit shorter than you, if I'm not wrong, and you have more reach. Or no, she has more reach, I guess. Or it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but when you see her frame, because you used to fight as a 115, and
Mm,
now she's shorter than you. Do you see like as an advantage? Because when you move it up, like a lot of girls are going to be bigger than you,
yeah.
but you are taller than her. Do you see as an advantage?
I think as long as I use my height and reach properly, I think all of it's an advantage. The thing is that's part of the reason why I moved up anyways, because I was looking forward. I feel as though fighting a bigger opponent, to me, like weight wise, or like there's certain advantages that I do like to exploit, in that I don't have to cut as much weight. So I feel as though I'm going to be faster, and I'm very strong for my size. People kind of like, I guess, I don't know why people think I'm not strong for some reason. So it's always a surprise to people, and to me, I was a big 115 or two. Like, people always thought I was small for some reason, but I like fighting people that are slightly bigger too, or at least around the same height. I don't. It's kind of annoying fighting like shorter girls, because you gotta, like, make sure they don't get underneath you and stuff. It's a little bit different. So even though she's like an inch shorter, I mean, we're pretty much gonna be around the same height, especially, with my stance and everything. I try not to stand too tall or anything. So I like that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Her last fight when she fought Fioro, Manon Fioro. Did you see any mistake? Did you see any hole in her game that you can take advantage of?
I mean, it seems like no matter what's going on in the fight, she's kind of just, she doesn't really, I would say the main like thing that to exploit is the fact that she doesn't really have a lot of creativity. She's kind of just gonna do the same thing no matter what. And so and I'm not stupid. Like, I know she's gonna try to do something different, because her result wasn't, necessarily what she wanted. So I have to be prepared for her to be, I am prepared for her to be a better version of herself than that night. But her ability, Manon did a really good job at keeping the distance, and she just didn't really have a way to close the distance. And so that's my plan, to to do the same thing.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Uh, is it fair to say, at least, is it fair to think that if you win Saturday, the next fight is going to be the title shot for you? Do you have any confirmation, like in the backstage when you talk your manager, when you talk to the UFC? Is that official for you? Like, okay, the next one is
um
a title shot.
it's not official, but it's sort of implied. It's sort of suggested, but nothing's a guarantee, unless it's in writing. It's Nothing's guaranteed. So no, I haven't had like a, this is for sure, a title contender fight. But I would imagine it just kind of makes sense. I would think you'd have to get Manon in there first, and then, you know I could be next in line with a good performance or whatever. But yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought her name like as the first. So, would you be willing to sit and wait? Let's say you win Saturday,
Mhm.
and because Mano, Valentina just fought, and if
Yeah.
Mano is fighting Valentina, we don't know when they're gonna fight.
Yeah.
So, would you be willing to sit maybe like a few couple months and wait until you have the chance?
It kind of depends. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't want to sit too long. So, if there's, it really would just kind of depend on when they match them up. I wouldn't mind taking a little bit of time off, and maybe having a longer training camp for the next one. Uh, but yeah, it's just like I said, it just kind of depends. So like I wouldn't mind taking another fight, but if they were to make a quick turnaround, then I would also just wait too.
Got it. Like we were talking at the beginning of the interview, 3 fights in this year. Is this something that how was your year? Like, okay, you don't have to cut as much weight as you had before, but I mean, 3 camps in a row. Like, you were just saying, maybe you need a vacation. Like, 3 fights for you, is it too much, or is a good number, or you can make more? Like, how does it work for you?
This year has been great, and I've always wanted to be more of an active fighter in my career, and I'm just thankful that I'm able to do that now. Before there was just always something that would get in my way, or I would it maybe be my fault, maybe it'd be just the circumstances of matchmaking or just whatever. That something would always just kind of come into play. But here we are. I'm blessed and I'm grateful to be busy and to be active and healthy. And yeah, if we could have another year of 3 fights in a year, that would be awesome. And if it doesn't turn out the way, then I just kind of have to trust in God's plan.
Perfect. Last but not least, I'm gonna let you by yourself. Would you mind to send a message for your Brazilian fans if you wanna say some Portuguese word that I
Hmm.
know that you know? So
Yeah.
if you don't mind, just send a message for your Brazilian fans and please answer the question why they should watch your fight Saturday night.
All right, bom dia. Obrigado, to my Brazilian fans for supporting me. Um, I would love to learn some more Portuguese, so maybe one day you guys could teach me and I'll come visit. And yeah, please stay tuned into my fight this Saturday.
Tá gostando desse vídeo? Seguinte, antes de você assistir ele até o final, por favor, deixe o seu like e confere se você está inscrito aqui no nosso canal. Além disso, também confira e clique no link que eu deixei fixado aqui nos comentários. Através dele, você consegue assinar o UFC Fight Pass Brasil pelo UOL Play e com 20% de desconto. Se você assinar o pacote anual, sai pelo valor de R$ 24,90 por mês.